on, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of Saturday Speculation. And this video I am actually kind of excited about making because I took to Instagram, I don't know, about 5 days ago, and I asked you guys, what topic would you want me to discuss in the next video? Like, what theme would you want LEGO to see pick up or continue on? A lot of the things that you guys wanted to see were the two most popular things that you guys kept telling me was either Lord of the Rings to return or Stranger Things to continue. And so this video is going to be about Stranger Things, and then probably next Saturday Speculation will be about Lord of the Rings, and then we'll go from there to see what else will pop up. So no, but the reason why I'm actually excited about making this video is because I actually watched Stranger Things for the very first time about last week, and I finished all 3 seasons, looking forward to season 4, and I was actually pleasantly surprised about Stranger Things. I didn't think it was going to be that good, but I think it's a good show, I'm not going to lie. It's pretty solid, pretty good storytelling throughout the show. Definitely not my favorite, but it's pretty good. And now I understand, ironically, you guys want to see a Stranger Things episode for Saturday Speculation, and now I'm prepared. Now I know what the hell I'm talking about. When I was actually watching Stranger Things, I was actually thinking like, oh, that could be a cool set, and this could be a cool set, and they should make this minifigure. So yeah, guys, today we're going to be talking about Stranger Things. So as we know, LEGO has one set from Stranger Things, based from the Stranger Things Netflix original series. Now, if you don't know what Stranger Things is, it's really hard to explain. I mean, I would recommend watching it. You just look it up. I mean, it's really hard to explain. There's this whole thing with different dimensions and dimensional creatures and almost kind of like extraterrestrial stuff going on and creepy government stuff going on and weird science experiments going on with the Russians that are all happening in like the small town of Hawkins in Indiana. So it's really hard to kind of explain the whole thing because there's just so much to it. So yeah, if you don't know what Stranger Things is, I would recommend watching it. It's a pretty good show. It takes place in the 80s, and the 80s era is actually one of my favorite eras in history because it's just so interesting with kind of the culture of, the music and the kind of clothing and style back in the 80s. That's the reason why it's one of my favorite eras throughout history. So first things first, I want to talk about some of these set ideas that I think potentially LEGO can make, and if Stranger Things is going to continue. Now, first off, I think yes, LEGO will continue Stranger Things. It's a popular series, everybody likes it, and it seems like everybody wants more Stranger Things sets, and there's a huge fan base behind it. So I don't really see any reason why LEGO would not continue Stranger Things unless there's just maybe a licensing issue or something like that. They're clearly not afraid of promoting kind of the violence in that show because they've made a Stranger Things set before, and they've even put a Demogorgon, which is probably arguably the most violent character / creature in the show. So LEGO is not scared to kind of cross that boundary, and I really think LEGO might actually potentially go through with continuing a line with it. Alright, so warning before we get on to this video, I will probably be talking about spoilers throughout the show, so if you haven't watched the entire show, I would recommend not watching throughout this entire video and wait to watch the show, then come back to this video and watch the rest of it, because I will probably be talking about spoilers. So let me get on to some of these set ideas that I think LEGO would make from really all the different seasons. Now, the first set that we have is called the Upside Down. Now, it's not really labeled as a particular house, but looking at the house, it's definitely the Byers' residence, the residence of Joyce Byers and Jonathan Byers and Will Byers. So this is kind of a really key location in the show because a lot of, really kind of the whole show starts at this place if you think about it. Of course, Will gets kidnapped in his own backyard behind the house, and that's kind of where this whole thing with the Upside Down, the different dimensions, and the Demogorgons, and the Mind Flayer, it all starts. It all starts there. So this is kind of a key spot that LEGO has already made. But what intrigued me about this was, of course, they already made the Byers' residence, and I was thinking the Stranger Things set line could be just iconic spots from the show. I mean, they could do the Wheeler residence, they can do the Sinclair residence, they can do the Henderson residence, All these different houses belong to the main characters. Of course, Hopper's cabin would be another one. They can even get into the city where they do the library, the Hawkins police station. One of the things that actually really intrigues me the most, there's two sets that I would love Lego to do, and one of them is the Hawkins Lab, and I think Hawkins Lab would be a really cool set because this would essentially be a play set, if you will, and it kind of reminds me of the Sanctum set from the Avengers line. It reminds me of that set, how you could kind of they're two buildings in one, but you can open them up and then you can play with the inside. And this would essentially be how I would imagine the Hawkins Lab would be, where it's built all four sides around, but you can open it up like an egg. And you have the different rooms, and you have like iconic rooms from really each season where there was a scene that you can kind of reenact. And I think a kid, I don't think most kids watch Stranger Things. I'm not exactly sure the fan base. I think the fan base mainly is teenagers and adults. But if a kid were to play with it, or a young teenager were to play with it, it would be just I feel like they would have a blast with it, because it's this big open area with all these different rooms. Like, I almost kind of see it being like a Death Star set, and this would probably be the most expensive set that I would imagine being in this line. But I would love to see a Hawkins Lab set come out of this, really. And there could be a lot of cool minifigures out. Like, you could do a Dr. Brenner minifigure. You could also do like another 11 minifigure where it's like kind of in her like her hospital gown, which would be really cool. You could probably do like some Jim Hopper minifigures, maybe in his scrubs or in the hazmat suit from season 1. And of course, you could do some government hazmat guys, would be cool, or government agents. I also think these sets should come with one of those utility vans that the government would disguise themselves in. I think that'd be a really cool feature if that came with that. So that would be a cool set that I would like to see going in through this route of making just iconic places from the show, and they could probably easily do it with all these. And most of these places I think should have an upside down version to match with the buyer's residence. However, Hawkins Lab I don't think should have an upside down version because there of course is a portal in Hawkins Lab. So I don't think Hawkins Lab should have an upside down version. Also, that'd just be a massive set if there was an upside down version of Hawkins Lab. I mean, think about how big that would be. But there's a lot of figures, and that would be kind of your prime set in the line, where you just have a ton of figures coming out of it, and each one is based off of each season, maybe. I think they should really emphasize on kind of the like U.S. government minifigures. Of course, that's pretty much mission-based for the U.S. government in Hawkins. So I think that should be kind of a prime area. I also think it'd be cool to see to get some U.S. military police minifigures out of that set too. Another set that I would really love to see, and this one's kind of from the most recent season, and that would be Starcourt Mall. I would love to see a big play set of Starcourt Mall, and you potentially could do an upside down version of it, really potentially on how they make the set. If they really just do a massive like Starcourt Mall, I mean, I can't see them doing like a full-blown mall, but a big chunk of the mall. The way I envision them doing Starcourt Mall is pretty much like the center area, like the food court area of Starcourt Mall, and then maybe like the front entrance. That is kind of how I envision Lego making a Starcourt Mall. Anyways, this is how I see Lego doing the Stranger Things line. If they weren't going to do that, I could see them doing like sets that are just very like directed towards playing with. However, I don't think that'd be a great idea, because like I said earlier, most people that are watching Stranger Things are either teenagers or adults. I don't think many kids watch Stranger Things. Can't really see many kids watching that, because it probably can be scary if you're a 10-year-old kid watching a show like that. So this is why I can't really see them making just full-blown like play-worthy sets, and more of just kind of like model sets like what they've already made, just different locations throughout Hawkins. But I guess I will talk about some of these set ideas that they could do. Now, one of them is the scene in season 1 where the kids are riding on their bikes and they're getting chased by the government and again those utility vans that the government drive. And I think they could actually do a set where 11 kind of flips the van over. That'd be a cool set. Another one would be where the kind of like car graveyard is, where Steve Harrington and the kids, the rest of the kids, kind of get off in a standoff battle with the Demodogs. I think that would be a really cool set from season 2. Now, there's a couple of sets that I think they could do from season 3, and one of them is the 4th of July carnival type thing that happens in season 3. I think that'd be a really cool set. You could have maybe the Russians chasing Jim Hoffa through that like funhouse thing. That'd be an interesting set that they could do. Another one would be maybe the underground version of Starcourt Mall, where it's the Russian facility, where you got these cool hallways. You actually maybe could even do like an interrogation room where it's got Robbie and Steve in it. Maybe get some Russian minifigures. I don't think Lego would do that because it's Russian minifigures. So I don't know. They could. They have done Russian minifigures in the past with the Indiana Jones set, so they could do Russian minifigures. Just I don't know. They may not want to get like that whole political thing, back in the Cold War. So I don't know. It's possible they could do Russian minifigures. They have done it in the past, but I don't know. Another one would be, and again, this would be in Starcourt, and this would be similar to the set that I mentioned earlier, where it's like a Starcourt playset. And in fact, actually, the Starcourt playset, I think, should incorporate kind of this idea that I have too. So there was a mock that I saw by Kevfet, and he actually made a pretty massive brick-built mind flayer from this mock. And it's pretty much the ending scene of the final battle of Stranger Things 3. And I actually think the set should be called the Battle of Starcourt, literally the name of the episode. And in the set, you can make a brick-built mind flayer, and you get like a bunch of minifigures, and you get pretty much almost the entire food court of Starcourt Mall. But you can also make it like playful. Like they could put playful features in it where like you can launch stuff at the mind flayer or something like that if you want to, like little missiles, or in this case fireworks that Lucas and Claire uses to pretty much distract the thing. So that's something that they do. I think that idea should be incorporated more into the other Starcourt idea that I had, where they do a Starcourt, again, they do a Starcourt model / playset type thing. And then it also comes with a brick-built mind flayer. I think that'd be a really cool set, to be honest. I think the biggest thing I'd like to see from Stranger Things more is actually I would like to see kind of more of the iconic locations idea. That's probably the biggest thing I'd like to see from Lego. But the other thing that I'd like to see is really just mainly the minifigures. I want to see more minifigures out of it, like Nancy and Jonathan. And really what I would like to see is maybe some military police and some government official minifigures. That would be really cool. And I really would want to see that a lot. So really, a lot of the figures I'd like to see, a lot more minifigures I'd like to see them do, but mainly more of those iconic Stranger Things locations. I think that'd be really cool. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Lego's going to continue Stranger Things? I don't know. We'll see. And lastly, in the comments down below, make sure to put down the next theme that you would like to see me discuss in the next Saturday Speculation episode. That's going to conclude this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next Saturday Speculation. See you guys later.